Yo, what up y'all, IntraVenus here, back with another episode. Today I wanted to talk about the Powkiddy v90. This is a clone, so to speak, of the GameBoy Advance SP. It's been out for a while. The reason I picked this up is, one, I found it now for under $25. And two, all these people have been getting the Anbernic RG-35XXSP, I think it's called, and it runs from like $60 to $80 depending on where you get it from, and it's essentially the same thing but more powerful. I'm sure the controls are a little better, the build's a little more solid, I suppose, but I didn't really want to spring for that because of the fact that I just wanted it to play Game Boy Advance games and lower, pretty much, and I didn't need it to be any more powerful. Let's go ahead and take a look at this. I know that these days they have things like custom firmware for this. A lot of people seem to be recommending it, but as of right now, I find it works just fine the way it is. I don't really want to do anything to it. So you'll see here it's got a power switch on the side. You got L2, R2, L1, R1 buttons. You got a screen that opens up and it's got a click, a nice close there, and clicks open nice. Got a couple different click levels. I think it opens flat too, but I don't really want to push it that way. So when you turn it on, it's got this funky little screen here, NX Hope, and it does like some little DOS text. I kind of like that for some reason. It reminds me of older PCs. So here we have, this has a lot of stuff in it, so let's go ahead and zoom in a little more and we'll take a closer look. This does have stereo sound. We got two speakers there, left and right, A, B, X, Y, a menu or back button. You got a D-pad, select start. Pretty decent looking screen, in fact. And we got a slider wheel here for volume, very welcome. I like that volume wheel. And you got your micro SD card, some sort of probably old school Nokia style battery in there or something. And then we've even got a headphone jack, and it is powered by USB-C. So when you boot it up, the first screen you're going to see here is some applications. It's got an actual WizWrite app so you can take notes, which isn't very useful at all because it doesn't have a keypad. It has this Explorer, which I think is just a file browser actually. We got a music player, stuff like that. Next, we have all our consoles. We got Game Boy, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, Famicom, Super Famicom, Game Gear, Master System, Mega Drive, PlayStation 1, Neo Geo Pocket. We got the Wonder Swan, PC Engine. Got different types of arcade and Capcom Arcade, Neo Geo, MAME. It's a lot of really good stuff here. It's loaded with games. And then you also have some ports here like Quake 2 and Cave Story, Wolfenstein 3D. So let's go ahead and check out some of the games here and see what it's all about. We'll do Game Boy first. I hear you can upgrade these speakers, so they're not the best quality speakers, I guess, but they do the job. Very loud. Let's see here, we've got 221 Game Boy games included. Press start to exit. Let's check out Game Boy Color. Game Boy Color has 100 games included. One thing I was a little bit surprised about is that it doesn't have any Pokemon games included at all, at least not on mine. And there weren't any Mario games either, so I definitely had to go and add a few games, which I did before this episode. I just added some Game Boy Advance games. can go ahead and set that to the correct ratio too. A little bit of Zelda action. Now, here's the sweet spot. It's Game Boy Advance. We'll go ahead and start out with some Sonic Advance. I've actually got a save state here on this one. So I was just playing this. Plays really well. Now, of course, I had to add some Pokemon games on here. Right now, I've got some ROM hacks. Also threw in the Golden Sun games because those were missing. I had to have the Golden Sun games. We got Pokemon Gaia, which I haven't started yet. I have a physical copy I'm going to be doing on the show soon. This thing is great. I mean, plays all the games that I want to play on the Game Boy Advance anyways. I mean, look at this, look at this. It's great. I like it. $25, it's a sweet spot. You know, I don't really want to drop $80 on a Game Boy Advance SP clone, or any Game Boy Advance clone, really, except for, you know, I want a real Game Boy Advance like I have my custom Game Boy Advance. That's worth dropping some dough on. We got Famicom, you know it's going to run that well. Let's check out some Sega Genesis or Mega Drive, because this is actually perfect ratio for Sega games. So many memories of this game. Came with my Sega Genesis when I was a kid. Well, let's check out some PlayStation 1 here, because it's I'm sure hit or miss. Right off the bat, we got Capcom versus SNK Millennium Battle. Let's check that out. I have tested this one. And I put the frame skip at like 4 frames or something, and it was playable, but definitely a little, you know, jumpy, skipping a lot of frames. I could have probably gotten away with 3 frames, maybe.
Versus SNK.
It was a little stuttery with the audio there. Yeah, the audio is really bad on this one. Whew, audio's bad. This isn't made for PlayStation though. I tell you what, if you want to play PlayStation on a little foldy, uncomfortable SP clone, then, you know, by all means, go get that Anbernic one, because this isn't made for PlayStation 1. Though I guarantee you there are certain PlayStation 1 games you could play on here. I bet some of the RPGs actually run decently. So let's turn the audio up just a little. This is a very Hadoukenable D-pad. I'm doing it with my pointer finger here because I'm holding it flat on the table, but when I'm using my thumbs or whatever, it's a Hadouken every time. Alright, we got some arcade games here to play. Some Double Dragon. This is this is like a fighting game, Double Dragon. I never played this before. Seems to play fine though. Seems to play fine. This looks like it'd actually be a pretty fun fighting game. I'll check that out later. With the arcade games, you had to press start and select at the same time to get out of there. They change it up depending on the game consoles here, so if you get one, keep that in mind. All in all, this is a well-formed little device, I gotta say. Let's check out some Quake 2. I'm sure this isn't the type of device that you want to play Quake on, but if it works, it's neat to see. So let's just check it out. Alright. A little slow for Quake. D-pad is not, the best control here. Oh, a little glitchy there. Some graphical glitches going on here. Very hard to control the D-pad, but it works though. It works. Alright, y'all, so there it is, the Powkiddy v90, now available for, I got it for $25. I'm thinking maybe I found it on a sale, but this is probably like a $30 device now or something. It's not the $40 or $50 or $60 that you might have been spending before, and $25 to me was the sweet spot. Something to note here is when you close this, it doesn't sleep the screen. You can see it's still lit in there. In fact, if I were to turn the volume up when a game's playing, you'd still hear the game. Another thing is they say not to turn it off with a switch. You want to go to this power menu, select that, and then power it off. Like so. Otherwise you might corrupt some of the files on your SD card. Regardless, I think this is a really neat device, especially for the money, and I am super happy to have it. I have no complaints at all. I'll leave a link down in my description of this video in case you want to check it out. Like I said, I don't think you'll be able to find it for $25 today, but maybe if you get lucky. Who knows, who knows. So let's see, is there a little protective thing on here? It almost looks like there's a protective thing on my Powkiddy symbol. Yeah, there's some sort of protective plastic film. I really want to take that off. Aha. I got it. Cool. Neat. It's shinier now. I like it. Alright, y'all. If you like this video, please hit the like and subscribe buttons. It really helps me out. It encourages me to make more videos. I got a lot more coming. I got a whole bunch of physical Pokemon ROM hacks. I'm sitting on 54 different Pokemon games right now. I'm covering them one by one on the channel. So, thanks so much for sticking around till the end of the episode, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace out.
Childhood, we were all there together, and in denial would play like it was forever. And in the tall woods, we'd stay out of the weather like it was all good. Every day we made it for pleasure. We were saying whatever came to our minds, plain and simple like a tetherball reaching the sky. We were taking new heights on the swing while it was making us fly. Beat the king of the hill and everything will be fine. The thrill of everything we would find, the innocence of a child.